Dear all, welcome to hrtech.sg. It's a demo hour, exclusive edition for September 2021, where we will be showcasing best-in-class features of impress.ai's recruitment automation solution. hrtech.sg embarked on the demo hour event series in 2019 to evangelize and promote the adoption of hrtech. The event provides a platform for hrtech providers to showcase their high-tech solutions, thereby aiding the acceleration of adoption of technology by HR teams. The event motto has been only to showcase demos and not presentations. The first event happened in 2019, September at WeWork facility in Suntec, Singapore. Now we have moved to an on-demand webinar format. In April, we had a demo hour event focused on organizational network analysis, May being Mental Wellness Awareness Month. It was focused on mental wellness technology. And then we had two more events in May, June that focused on non-PMET, which is a Singaporean terminology for blue-collar workers hiring and onboarding. June being the Pride Month, we showcased solutions in the diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging space. July was all about talent development, and August was focused on talent planning. There are various challenges faced by TA teams in meeting the market needs, right? At this point of time, there is a shortage of talent across the world due to various reasons. In countries like Singapore and Australia, it could be due to border restrictions. In markets such as India and US, it's due to heated market conditions. Decentralized recruitment processes in large enterprises leads to a lot of cost leakages. Hiring bias exists in the TA process as a result of adherence to traditional recruiting methods that depend on intuition more than a candidate's real potential. There is also lack of availability of candidate persona for the TA teams for a targeted approach, lack of data-driven approach in the talent acquisition process, and finally, companies have disjointed candidate experience due to a lack of integration of various tools and systems. And that's where we have solutions like Impress. In fact, Impress is an autonomous recruitment platform. It delivers recruitment processes that require little or no human intervention. It delivers this through conversational bots that autonomously interview, engage, and shortlist candidates at scale 24/7 and actively fight human bias by hiding biasing information from human reviewers. It's been built with a focus on proven research, and impress.ai prioritizes effective candidate evaluation and targeted recruitment process structuring. And we are happy to have Sudhanshu, this founder and CEO of Impress, in our studio for today's edition. Over to you, Sud, for the demonstration of Impress platform.
Thank you, Sriram. Glad to be here. I'll just share my screen and start going through our solution. So what you see on the screen now first is the page that a recruiter sees when they first log in. This has been set up for the recruitment team based on their requirements. We set up certain workflows right up front so that they have something to start with on day one. Now, the basic unit of the Impress AI platform is the workflow. A workflow consists of the logic for screening a candidate. It consists of the questions to ask to the candidate based on the role they're applying for, and it contains the ability to edit those workflows. Additionally, of course, there is an FAQ functionality where each workflow comes with the ability to answer questions to the candidate based on the role, based on the company, or any other things. All of our workflows integrate with ATS systems, and the most common enterprise systems are all live with us with multiple customers. So what I'm going to start with is first the candidate experience that a potential applicant has when they're applying for a role through Impress AI. Then we're going to go through the recruiter experience, how the shortlisting happens. And then lastly, we're going to see how some of these workflows can be built self-service. In fact, self-services are one of our key differentiating factors, which enables our customers to scale our platform to all their roles. Since we work mostly with large enterprises today, it is easier for them to scale our platform by using the self-service functionality on the platform. So let's begin. I'm going to show a demo workflow for customer service specialists at a bank. So let's go to the candidate interface. You should be seeing a chatbot now that interviews the candidate. Now, how this works is that the candidate sees the role on a job ad platform or on LinkedIn or any other resource where the client likes to advertise their job. This could be the landing page on the ATS. As soon as the candidate clicks apply, they're taken to this chat interface where they learn about the company, they learn about the process that they'll be going through, and they begin immediately. This can, of course, be on the phone or iPad or any other device that the candidate is using. It adapts to the correct screen size. So first, it starts by collecting some basic information about me. It knows how to address me now. And then it talks about the bank and how large it is, what is the number of people, what is the company culture like. So it starts educating the candidate about certain key aspects about the employer brand. I can click around and find out more. So our employer branding section is very popular because this helps spread the brand to absolutely all candidates who are applying, rather than just the ones who end up going through the process. There's a facility to upload your resume here. So as a candidate, I've already uploaded my resume here, which gets parsed and it gets organized in the system in the form of my work experience, education, and skills and abilities. So this is all automatically populated from my PDF resume. So once this is checked by the candidate just to make sure that the information is parsed correctly, they're able to proceed with the rest of the conversation. Now, it starts with a pre-screening questionnaire, and it tries to evaluate whether the candidate is even eligible to work in the country that they're applying for a position in. I'll answer some of these questions. Now, what has happened is I have actually answered a question which disqualifies me from proceeding in the process. Now, this is something that's very useful for our customers because it disqualifies candidates if they're not even eligible, and none of the sides need to waste any further time going through the rest of the process. Now, I'm going to use a different workflow just to show you how this process could have unfolded in a different way. So we're going to restart this and go through a more successful version of this application. Okay, so we're back to the pre-screening section. And we're going to answer the questions a little more carefully so that we don't get rejected through the process. Okay. So just some basic questions to get out of the way. Oops, I can only enter a number. It asks me my expected salary just to make sure that my expectations are aligned with the organization's. And then we get into an assessment mode. So there are certain key requirements for this role, including speaking certain languages. So it's asking me which languages I speak and how proficiently I speak them. So I don't actually speak any of the listed languages, but just for the sake of this demo, I'm going to pick one. Do I have any customer service experience? That's another one. I don't have any professional qualifications specific to customer service. So I'm just going to answer none. So it asks me certain job relevant questions, which will help a recruiter assess my application for the role. We'll go in a moment to where the dashboard shows a recruiter how these questions have been assessed automatically by the platform. And then certain elements of judgment can be added by the recruiter who's looking into this application. So here's a situational judgment question, which gives me an actual situation that can happen at the job. Now, I'm able to answer this question in the form of a long text that can actually be evaluated by our machine learning algorithms at Impress AI. So I'm going to answer this question. So I'll put some questions, I'll put some answers here, which are a bit of a placeholder just to keep us moving. And then you see that there's a section which allows me to start my video interview process. So if I start my video assessment now, I'll be able to record my video interview, answering a couple of questions based on the role. I'm going to try and skip this section just so we can keep this moving. As an administrator on the Impress AI platform, I have certain privileges that an admin has, including skipping sections. But candidates who are applying for this through this method are not able to skip sections unless they're explicitly made skippable. I'm able to rate my experience on the platform. And then I can ask certain questions. So you can see that there are certain suggested questions. I've done my complete application. So you can see that my status is applied, and I can go ahead and ask any candidates at the end of this chatbot based interview, just like I would ask in a real interview. So I can click around and ask certain questions which are suggested. And I can type out some questions as well if needed. I should be able to get a response to these different kinds of questions as well. So that's how the candidate can get to know the company in multiple ways. First, they start with, of course, employer branding, and at the end, they are able to ask questions about the company and about the culture and those sorts of things. And in the middle, they get assessed for the role. So that is the complete experience that a candidate would go through. There are different kinds of experiences that you're able to build, including external assessments that can be plugged into the same workflow. And the chat-based experience takes the candidate through those external experiences as well as needed. We're going to switch over to the recruiter side of things just to see how the candidate would be shortlisted and scored. So all the candidates who complete this kind of autonomous interview, they're scored by the platform. They appear on this dashboard for the recruiter to review, and all the basic information that has been collected from them is displayed here as well, including the answers that the candidate gave to certain subjective questions. So what we're able to do is, for the subjective questions that were asked, we're able to use AI-powered evaluation. Now, how the AI-powered evaluation works is that first, as a recruiter, you need to evaluate the answers manually for the first 15 to 20 candidates. And from that, the platform learns which answers are preferred versus which answers are not. So we're going to rate this, and we're going to call this good for now. And after this, I have a total score available for the candidate, which allows me to arrange candidates in a sequence and shortlist them. You may notice that we've applied certain filters on the names, on the name and email of the candidate. You can't see who this candidate is. You can only see what their answers are. And in fact, even the profile, when you look at their resume, their identifying information is hidden. So that's how we hide biasing information. Only if you shortlist the candidate, you're able to see who they are and um, how to contact them. So I'm going to shortlist this candidate. And then we can see who this candidate is and how to contact them. There we go. So that's the recruiter experience that I wanted to show you. So far, we've gone through the candidate experience. We've gone through the experience that the recruiter has while shortlisting the candidate. We've touched upon how the AI capability can help evaluate answers that are subjective autonomously. Now, there's a quick point on how you can create new workflows when you're launching new roles. Now, this is where our self-service capabilities come in. As a recruiter, you're able to start with templates that are available on the platform based on our internal libraries. So based on different jobs, we would make different templates available here. And as soon as you click and create on one of these, you are able to get a new workflow for that kind of a role, which you can edit on the platform by adding and subtracting whatever questions are there. You can edit existing questions as well. So the whole experience is started from a template, but you can edit as needed. So we've gone through all the three sections that we wanted to in this demo. Hope you found that useful, and happy to get in touch if you'd like more information. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sudhanshu. That was indeed a comprehensive demonstration. In fact, Impress does have a lot of features that support the enterprises in their candidate experience aspect. Just wanted to find out from you, what are the key USPs for Impress, both from a recruiter perspective and from a candidate perspective? Because there are fast changing trends in the marketplace. So how do these USPs actually meet the changing marketplace requirements?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that question. So one of the key things about Impress AI platform is that from scratch, it's been built to be sort of compliant with the best practices in IO psychology. So if companies that have invested on competency frameworks need a efficient and a scalable way to implement those competency frameworks for different roles, Impressia is the best platform to do that, because you're able to have job relevant workflows for each candidate who applies. They go through job relevant questions that are based on competencies for that role. So that's one of the key things that our customers like about us, and that's a major differentiator because you're able to do all of that. The second is, of course, you're able to follow a skills-based hiring methodology, and that's become very important because unfortunately, a lot of the workforce have been displaced from certain industries that are affected by the pandemic. You have this whole hospitality sector that needs to be, whose skills need to be repositioned in other industries. And when you're able to use a platform with skill-based hiring methodology, you're able to identify those core skills that make someone who has experience in one kind of industry, one kind of role, be effective and be able to be identified as effective in other industries which are still doing well. So that's those are two probably some of the most important areas that help us be successful with our clients. The third is probably the self-service functionality that a lot of our customers appreciate. Enterprises who want to use a platform in a scalable fashion don't want to have to go back to the vendor over and over for launching new capabilities and new workflows. So in pure SaaS format, Impress AI enables our customers, after the initial setup, to create their own workflows and expand the use of the platform to new roles that are released. That's very important for speed, especially because, again, you mentioned that there's shortage of talent in the market. And if a company has the attention of a particular candidate, or if the company is looking to recruit for a certain role, they want to move fast. And with self-service, they're able to move fast. So those are some of the key value propositions and USPs that work for our clients.
Job relevant workflows, skills based hiring methodology, and self-service functionality for the enterprises. Definitely. Thanks for running through all of these aspects in our demonstration today. We really look forward to hosting you at our future events too. Thank you, Sudhanshu.
Thank you so much, Sriram.